Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for those of you who are new here, my name's Amy. I'm a full-time reseller primarily on the Poshmark app, but I do dabble on other online platforms and I sell locally. Today I'll be doing a ship with me video. In these videos I go day to day and I share the different items that I'm shipping out. I talk about how much they sold for, what I paid for them, and what my profit was. So you want to be sure to watch all the way to the end because there is typically at least 3 clips, and I always have interesting and unique items. I'm sure you can learn something from watching these videos. Okay, so the first item that sold on cherish.com, which is CHAIRISH, and it is a set of 4 of these Frank Lloyd Wright glasses. Now these were sold at the MoMA Museum, and these even had the original little like leaflet inside of each one of these. The set of 4 sold for $110. I'm very excited about that. I got these at the Goodwill and I paid $2 a piece, so I paid $8 total. That is just a really great sale. Cherish charges a 22% seller's commission, so after their fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $80. I'm thrilled with that. I'm gonna go ahead and package these up off camera because they'll take a little bit of time, and I'm gonna move them out of the way so they don't get broken. Those glasses were listed for roughly about 2 months. So a relatively quick sale. I find that sometimes hard goods can take a little bit longer to sell, but that wasn't too bad for that type of profit. I'm pretty excited about that. So the next item sold on Poshmark, and this is a vintage necklace and earring set by Florenza. And that's a semi-collectible brand. I mainly picked this up because I just liked the styling, the enamel, and because it was a set. Anytime I can find a set that has a cool look to it and it's affordable, I will pick it up. This set sold for $60. I think that's pretty great, actually. It did have some wear to the gold tone plating, so it was a little bit faded. I think I originally listed this for $89 for the set. So when I got that $60 offer, I was pretty happy with that. I had paid just $6 for the set. Let's see if I can get, I think it's too small for you to be able to see, but this is marked. It does say Florenza. I was gonna see, yeah, that's what it is. So like I said, it sold for $60. I paid $6. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $42. This took 2 or 3 months to sell, so not too long. I don't know why I'm struggling here with how to wrap this up. I don't want the enamel to get hit with other parts of the necklace. There we go. So for a $6 buy-in price to have a $42 profit, I'm pretty happy with that. And the turnaround time was not too bad. Oftentimes this vintage jewelry can also take time to find the right buyer, but that one did not take too long, which is great. When I'm buying vintage costume jewelry, unless I know it's a desirable brand or it's really a spectacular looking piece, I don't like to pay too high of prices, less than $5 per item typically, just because, like I said, it does oftentimes take a little bit more time to sell, and so I don't want to have, you know, a high amount of money waiting around to get my profit on. So the next item is a belt. It wouldn't be one of my ship with me videos without a belt. This is actually probably from the 70s or 80s, and it is eel skin. It's a really dark burgundy oxblood color. and I used all of those terms. I think I even put reptile in there. I put 70s, 80s, eel skin. And like I've said before, for those of you who haven't watched my videos, when there is no brand on an item and it is 20 years or older, I will list it under the vintage brand. People will follow that brand just like they would follow Gucci or Patagonia or Louis Vuitton or whatever you want to say. Having trouble with my tape dispenser here. So by listing it under the vintage brand, it can get your item more exposure than if you just have it listed with no brand on there. So that is a tip that I use to get my items more exposed. And for my belts, it really seems to work because if you haven't watched my videos, I typically sell multiple belts a week. So I guess I should tell you how much this sold for. This sold for $37. Wow, huh. I don't remember what I listed this for. It must have been for over $40. I paid just $1 for it. I think it did sell with discounted shipping. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $25.92. That did take quite a while to sell, probably over 6 months. But that's okay, it doesn't take up much space, and that's a nice little profit for that item. So the next item, I kind of on and off will pick up briefcases and leather messenger bags. Sometimes I do really well, sometimes I don't do so well, and they usually take a little while to sell. This one did not, however, take very long to sell. I think it was only listed maybe a week to 2 weeks. It is a really pretty, I believe that it is handmade, really nice kind of rustic distressed looking leather. I bought this because I thought it was so pretty, and it was only $6.99 at the Goodwill, which is typically they price stuff like this higher than that. So I grabbed it up real quick. I listed it for $69, and there was a lot of interest in this. This, again, didn't have a brand. I'm not sure how old it was exactly, but I listed it under the vintage brand. And did I already say this got a lot of interest? And one of the buyers, well, now this tape dispenser is going to malfunction. Oh, boy. So one of the likers, I sent out a 10% off offer with discounted shipping for $62, and they accepted. They actually had made a offer for $50 early this morning. I had gotten an offer for $40 last night, and I counter offered that offer with $50. But they made their offer before I woke up this morning. And then before I had a chance to look at it, they just went ahead and bought it for that $62 with discounted shipping. So I am happy with that. Like I said, it sold for $62. I paid $7. So after Poshmark fees, that made my profit $39.92. I'm happy with that, especially for a relatively quick sale. Okay, the next item isn't a total fail, but it wasn't my greatest buy. So this is a 100% wool kind of plaid coat, and it is by Codet, C-O-D-E-T. I didn't buy it for the brand. I bought it because it was 100% wool, and it was in pretty nice condition. And really it was not listed that long, maybe a month or so. But seeing as we are nearing the end of winter, I am really trying to take offers and sell coats when I get offers. So I paid up for this. I paid $18. And that was my first mistake. I shouldn't have bought it for $18, but it was one of those days I was finding a whole bunch of cool stuff. I found a sheepskin coat and some other items that I could sell for high dollar amounts. And sometimes when that happens, I get excited and I start thinking everything's good and worth a bunch of money. So I bought this. And I did list it for $89, I think. I hadn't gotten really very much interest in it at all. And this buyer offered me $40. I kind of hem-hawed about it, but it is quite bulky. So I just decided to go ahead and accept it because I don't want to be storing this through the summer. I just don't think it is the type of piece that I want to hold on to, that I'll get a, you know, really big return on if I wait longer to sell it. So I accepted the $40. I had paid $18, so that made my profit $14. Really not what I'm looking to profit when I spend that type of money, but profit's profit. I'm gonna move it out and take that $14 and buy something else, and hopefully I can make a bigger profit on that next item. And you know, we're always learning, seeing what is good to pick up and what is not so good to pick up. The next item is another jacket. This is a blank NYC, and it's kind of a moto jacket. It has kind of rose gold hardware. I actually picked this up for myself because it can be hard to find moto jackets with rose gold or yellow gold hardware. But then it was in my closet and I tried it on a couple of times, and I decided it just wasn't my style. So I listed it less than a week ago, and I listed it for $59. A buyer liked it, and I sent them out an offer for 10% off with discounted shipping, and they accepted. So it turned out to be a pretty good deal because I paid $9 for it. So that made my profit $30.72. I'm thinking maybe I should just start buying stuff for myself and listing it, because it seems like whenever I buy something for myself and then I end up not wanting it, when I list it, it sells pretty quickly for decent profits. And it's funny, I was just watching another reseller channel. I can't remember who it was, and they were talking about brands that they weren't picking up anymore, that were kind of slow sellers, and this blank NYC was one of the brands that they said they weren't picking up anymore, and particularly these faux leather moto jackets. So I'm kind of surprised that it did so well for me. It was a size extra large though, and I think that the fact that it had that kind of rose gold hardware probably helped sell it quicker. Okay, the next item is another leather jacket, but this is a genuine leather vintage Wilson's jacket, and it has kind of this 1980s boxy fit and rounded padded shoulders. I like to pick up these vintage style Wilson leather jackets when I can find them for an affordable price. I tend to do pretty well with them. This one ended up selling for $50, and it only took a couple of months to sell. I paid $4 for it. So I would say I like to be under the $10 mark when I'm picking up these vintage coats because typically they sell in the 40 to 125 range. But it's just hard to tell who is going to come along and how much you're going to get for, I got new tape now and it just wants to roll over. But it's hard to tell how much you're actually going to get for them. So I try not to pay up unless I'm really in love with the style of the jacket. Okay, so it sold for $50. I paid $4. So after Posh fees, that made my profit $36. I think that's pretty great for that amount of investment. And it didn't take terribly long to sell. I was hoping to get a little bit more for that, but again, I am accepting offers on my coats so that I don't store them. Also, my coat rack is still overflowing. There's not even enough room to hang all of the coats on there, so I need to move some stuff out. Okay, the next item is just this cute little vintage nightgown jacket. And it's this pretty sea green color. I just picked this up because there was quite a bit of vintage lingerie at this estate sale I went to, and they were only charging $1 per item. So I picked this up. It sold for $18. And I can't remember what I originally listed this for, maybe 21 or 22, but I'm happy with $18 just because it's a simple little piece and it kind of seems like it should be part of a set and the rest of the set is missing. So like I said, it sold for $18 after Posh fees and my cost of goods. That made my profit $13.40. Not a huge profit, but when I can pick up a bulk amount of similar types of items, I will do that for lesser profits just because I find it's a little bit easier to list if I'm listing 20 pieces of vintage lingerie. The titles and descriptions can be very similar, just with different colors and materials and brands and whatnot. So I will do that even if the profit's going to be a little bit lower. Okay, the next item that sold is this pair of men's steel toe Keen boots. And these are, scuffed up, but overall they're in pretty good condition. There's a lot of tread left on them. And I tend to do pretty well with Keen. These were only $10. That's why I decided to pick them up. They sold for $65. I think I listed them for $89 and the buyer offered me $65. I'm gonna go ahead and package these up off camera because I need to figure out how I'm gonna get them in a box that I have because they're pretty big. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $42. Those took a little while to sell, probably around 6 months. So I think it was probably worth it for the $42 profit, but they are kind of bulky and did take up space. Okay, so don't go anywhere. I will be back again tomorrow, but that is all for today. If you are enjoying my videos, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I do these Ship With Me videos every week, and then sporadically I'll put in other types of videos like Thrift With Me, thrift hauls, or educational videos. Also, if you could give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, both those things really help me out. They help boost my videos in the YouTube algorithm, so YouTube suggests my videos to more people, which helps me grow and encourages me. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you then. Hi, I'm back to ship out my sales. It's been about 48 hours since I last shipped, and as of last night at 7 p.m., I had 0 items to ship out, and now I have 6 items to ship out. The reason that I'm telling you this is that when I have slow sales, I try and focus on what I can control and not what I can't control. So I can't control all of the new live sales, which are working wonderfully for some people. It's not something that I'm doing at this time, just because I don't want to take on another thing. But I can't control, you know, the Poshmark algorithm. I can't control people's spending habits, but what I can control is the actions that I take to try and get sales. So what I did was I used my Posher VA, and I still haven't been able to get set up with a discount code for them, but if I do by the time this video goes live, I'll link it down below because it is a great service and I really recommend using it. So I use them to send out 20% off offers to likers with $5.95 discounted shipping on every item in my closet. And you just go in and tell them what you want to do and hit click send, and it sends out the offers for you. So a lot of these came from that. Some people did counter offers on that discount, and I accepted most of those offers. So that's another thing that you can do when your sales are slow, is accept offers. I really believe that that feeds the algorithm, and when you're accepting offers and making sales, it results in more sales. I don't understand how it works, but it works. So just remember that you can't control what's happening, you know, what other people are doing, but you can control what you do and the effort that you put in to make sales. So that's just a tidbit for you guys. I hope it helps if you guys are having slow sales. So let's get started. The first item, you know me, it wouldn't be one of my Ship With Me videos without belt sales, but this is a kind of burnt orange colored belt, and it is by Jenny and the Boys. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I didn't pick this up for the brand, although this is a nice quality brand. I just picked it up because it had that unique buckle and it was a unique color. Now, you know, orange is probably not everybody's cup of tea, but I would suspect that it's kind of hard to find an orange leather belt. So that's why I decided to pick it up. Plus it was only $3. I listed it for $39, and this was the 20% off offer with discounted shipping. So I sent out an offer for $31, and the buyer accepted. Like I said, I had paid $3 for this. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $20.08. That's wonderful as far as I'm concerned. Let's see, is that gonna fit in there? I'm not sure. I might have to get a bigger box. But sometimes when your sales are slow, you have to accept lower offers than what you would normally do. You don't have to, but that's what I do. Sometimes it's okay to move out an item like this next item for a lower amount to get your sales moving, because profit is profit. And after all, we are buying these items to sell, not to hold on to. And you know me, sometimes I say that I'll hold out for top dollar, but when sales are slow, I do accept lower offers. Okay, so I'm not very excited about how much I got for this belt. I do think it's worth more, but c'est la vie. It's sold, and I have that money to put into another item. So it is this semi-vintage black and brown leather belt with this kind of inset and those conchos. There's no brand on this. It just says genuine leather, made in Mexico. This sold for $32. I really felt like this was, you know, a $40 or $50 belt just because it is beautiful quality. But I had it listed, I think I had it listed for $55 or $59. I sent out those 20% off offers to likers. This buyer came back and started out by counter offering me $20, which I did not accept. We went back and forth and settled on $32. I had paid just $1.50 for this, and it really hadn't been listed too terribly long. I think 2 or 3 weeks. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $24.10. Still a great profit for a $1.50 investment. And I really do believe that when you accept offers, that it gets your closet moving. So that is one of the reasons that I accepted this offer. And let's say I had held out for $40 after Poshmark fees, that would have given me an extra $8, which is $8, but it is not a huge amount of money. So I am just going to focus on that and not dwell on the fact that it sold for less than I anticipated it would. Okay, so the next item is this Coach bag. Now, I don't always pick up these Coach signature canvas bags just because they are often sold at the outlet, and they don't always have the greatest resale value. But I really liked the bright kind of red-orange color of this, and it has this yellow lining and the turquoise details. So that's why I picked it up. I thought it was unique. Also, it was in quite nice condition. I paid up for this. I paid $12, and I can't remember what I originally listed it at. I think $69, but this buyer offered me $60. I thought that was really great for one of these signature canvas bags, so I accepted. Like I said, I had paid $12 for it, so after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $36. It did take a little while to sell, I think 4 to 6 months, so it wasn't a quick flip, but still for a $36 profit, I think that is pretty great. So how have your sales been going? Let me know in the comments down below. It is February 23rd. And usually my sales are pretty good in February. And overall, they have been quite good in February. I'm on track to sell about the same amount as I did last year. So I am happy and thankful for that. The next item is another brown leather bomber jacket. I sold one of these last week or the week before, and I picked them up at the bins. I almost passed on them because they're a little bit heavier weight. This one is from Gap. But I've been doing pretty well with brown bomber jackets. I think they are pretty trendy because, you know, they kind of have that 90s Y2K style. And I believe this one is vintage, you know, within the last 20 years or so. So this ended up selling for $50. I think I listed it for $69, and this buyer sent me the offer for $50. I thought that was fair, and I was in the mood to accept offers, or I knew I needed to spur some more sales. So like I said, I picked this up at the bin, so I paid about $5 for it based on the weight. After Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $35. Did I say it was only listed for a couple of weeks? So I think that is really a great profit. And as I've been saying, I am taking offers on my coats because I do not want to hang on to these bulky coats through the summer. Okay, the next sale is kind of interesting. It is this vintage pair of Skechers kind of platform chunky sandals. Now, I paid $6 for these, and they ended up selling for $35. You can get decent prices, sometimes really good prices for some of these vintage Skechers. But for me, I wouldn't recommend paying up for them because I haven't been able to sell them quickly for really high prices. These took, I'd say these took a good 6 to 8 months to sell. But I did have them listed quite a bit higher. I think I had them listed at $55 or $59. So if I had picked them up at the bins and I could price them lower, I bet they would have sold quickly. So these, like I said, these sold for $35. I paid $6 after Posh fees and my cost of goods. That made my profit $22. I did use terms like vintage, retro, 90s, Y2K, leather, platform, chunky. So when you're selling these, you know, vintage type items, you do want to put as many keywords in there as possible. I do really think that that helps sell that type of item. And I use, when I'm using the tags, at the bottom of my listing, I write tags and then, you know, say all the different things that I apply in my description. And then I also use the 3 tags that Poshmark offers you. I use tags that are already in their list there. So I don't know if you've noticed, like if you type in something like, let's say, you typed in grandma core in their tags, it's not a pre-existing one. So I would put that in my description, and then I would look through their list of pre-filled ones and choose from those for the tags. I don't know why, but I think it's more effective in that field to use it that way and then put the other tags in your description. That's just my experience. I could be wrong. Let me know if you have a better understanding of those tags. Let me know in the comments below. But that seems to be what works best for me. The next item is just a vintage kind of nylon slip. I think this is probably from the 60s or 70s. Really a cute little piece. This was another item that I accepted a lower offer on. This only sold for $12. But I had it listed for quite some time, and I think I had it listed for $25. I sent out that 20% off offer with discounted shipping, and the buyer counter offered $12. At first I was like, I don't want to sell it for $12, and then I just decided it's been listed for a while. I'm not going to keep it. I don't want it. I'm going to sell it. And I had only paid $1 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $8.05. Not a home run, but profit's profit. It's one less thing sitting in my storage bin. And I hope this buyer likes it. It is really a pretty piece. As I've said before with vintage lingerie, I will pick it up if it's affordable. Because some of them can sell for great prices and some of them sell for not so great prices. But when you're only $1 in, or if you pick it up at the bins, even better, and you can turn 50 cents or $1 into $8 to $10 profit, I think that's a great return on investment. Okay, so that is all for today. Hopefully my sales have picked back up, and I'll have more sales to ship with you to share with you in the next couple of days. So I will see you then. Hi again, it's a couple days later, and I've got some more goodies to ship out, a couple high dollar sales, which is pretty exciting. So the first item is one of the high dollar sales, believe it or not. This pair of 2 salt and pepper shakers with the little stand sold for $232. Can you guys believe that? Now these are from the mid-century era, and they are made of rosewood, which is a wood that you can no longer harvest. So it is a rare wood, which brings the value up of items that are made from that. But salt and pepper shakers for $232. I just can't believe it. I did do some research on these prior to listing them, and they are by Lundoft, if that's how you pronounce it, L-U-N-D-T-O-F-T-E. And I used the title Mid-Century Danish Modern 1950s Lundoft Rosewood Salt and Pepper Shakers with Stand. So that is just some keyword tips for these items. I am just, I guess I'm a little speechless that they sold for so much, but they did, so I am thrilled with that. I paid $10 for this set. So Cherish, these sold on Cherish.com, and Cherish charges the 22% commission. So after their fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $171.62. I'm just thrilled. And you know, I want to say, I hope you guys don't ever think that I have this channel to brag about my sales. I guess maybe it kind of could come across that way, but being a reseller, you may know that it is hard to relate to other people who aren't in this industry, and they just don't seem to get as excited about this type of thing as I do and as my fellow resellers do. So I'm just sharing this out of excitement and hoping that you can learn something from the items that I'm selling for high dollar amounts. So if you see them at an estate sale or at a thrift store, you'll pick them up and make big money too. So just don't ever confuse my sharing with me trying to brag. That's really not my intention at all. So, okay, I'm gonna set these aside and package them up off camera. The next item that sold is a pair of hiking boots, and these are from, I don't know how to pronounce this, Anu. It's A-H-N-U, but these were just in really great condition, and that's why I picked them up. This brand does have a decent retail value, but when I've picked it up in the past, it took a while to sell. These only took a couple of weeks to sell, and they sold for $75, which I think is really great. I did look up comps on these before I picked them up because they were priced $10. And like I said, when I'd had this brand in the past, it took a little while to sell, but that was a long time ago that I had this brand. So it's possible that it is a better seller now than when I had it before. Either way, I am really thrilled. These sold on Poshmark. And if they had been half a size bigger, I would have kept them because they are really good looking and nice quality boots. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $50. I am really happy with that. Let's see. Seems like these could be wrapped a little bit tighter. And with that quick flip, that makes me really happy. Anytime something sells in less than a month, I really count that as a win and a great sale. Okay, the next item, sorry, I'm kind of fumbling here, I dropped something, is this pair of vintage cowboy boots. Aren't those fun? They kind of have this gathered top, they're tan leather, and then gold leather accents. I would guess that these are probably from, I don't know, the 70s or 80s, maybe more like the 80s or 90s. And they have this cool print on the lining. I almost always pick up cowboy boots if they aren't in completely destroyed condition. Even if they have distressing and scuffs and marks like this, I will still pick them up. They don't sell instantly, although these did sell relatively quickly, but I always tend to get pretty good prices for cowboy boots. You know, in the $40 to $100 range, depending on the materials. These sold for $67, and they were listed for a little bit more than a month. But I think that is great, especially for this unique style. And I'm sure this buyer is really gonna love these. I did use all the keywords: Western, cowboy, cowgirl, rodeo, fair, festival, bohemian, boho chic, vintage. I don't think that these had a brand either. I listed them under the vintage brand on Poshmark. And like I said, they sold within a reasonable amount of time for $67. I had paid $6 for these. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $47.60. Another really great profit. As I say over and over again, anytime I can make over $20 on an item, I am thrilled. Sorry for the fumbling. I've got a lot of big boxes over here today because I've got big items. Boy, I'm just really fumbling today. Okay. So the next item that sold is this semi-vintage suede and leather messenger bag. And I picked this up because it is just gorgeous quality, very, you know, timeless, could be worn by men or women. It's a green suede. It is by GS Bass Company. I didn't pick it up because of the brand at all, although they do have, you know, nice quality items. I just picked it up because of the quality and the style. This also didn't take very long to sell, less than a month, and it sold for $85. I was pretty happy about that. I did look up comps on this and saw that there were some decent comps, and I priced it on the high end. I can't remember. I think I priced it maybe for $99. And I got this offer for $85, which I happily accepted. I had only paid $10 for this. So again, that was another great profit after Posh fees and my cost of goods. That made my net profit $58. So I sold one of these briefcase messenger bags. Again, I use all the keywords for this. Messenger, briefcase, work bag, laptop, unisex, men's, women's, genuine suede, leather. I can't remember if I said distressed on this or not, because it did have a little bit of distressing. I think I even put travel bag on there. So I always put as many keywords applicable, spit it out, keywords that someone could possibly be searching for this type of bags. I won't spam things with, you know, keywords that don't apply, but I do want people to be able to find the items that I'm selling. So I used as many keywords as I can think of. Okay, so this sold for $85. I paid $10. So that made my profit $58. Did I already say that? Another one of these days that I'm a little discombobulated, but you guys get the picture. Okay, so the next item that sold is this vintage brooch. And I almost didn't list this because it is pretty worn. It's hard to tell here, but it's missing some stones. And the metal is worn. It's worn down to copper in some areas, but I just thought it was a unique enough piece that I would still list it. I listed it for $24 and a buyer offered me $20. I thought for a, you know, somewhat damaged, flawed piece that was a fair offer. So I went ahead and accepted that. I got this in a big lot of jewelry, so I probably would not have bought it unless it just came with this big bulk amount of jewelry. So I paid about $1 for it, which after Posh fees and my cost of goods made my profit $15, which is pretty good for a damaged piece. This next item sold within less than 24 hours. It's a Patagonia backpack. And it does have some marks and wear on it. I originally bought this off Poshmark for myself, and then I didn't end up using it. For those of you who have been watching my videos, you might see a common theme here. Sometimes I'm kind of an impulse buyer on Poshmark if there is a good deal that I see. And this seller had this listed for $25. So I bought it. I was kind of wanting a new backpack because mine was worn out. But this turned out to be a little bit too small for what I needed it for. So I never ended up using it. And it was just sitting in my closet. So I pulled it out along with a couple other things yesterday and listed it yesterday, and it sold. So I listed it for, let's see, $54. I looked up comps, and because it had some spots, I listed it on the low end of comps. This buyer offered me $40, but I had quite a bit of interest in it already. So I counter offered $47, which is what my automatic offers to likers was. And she accepted. So it sold for $47. My cost of goods on this ended up, after tax and shipping, was $35.58. So after Posh fees, that only left me with a profit of $2.02. But that's fine. I didn't buy this for resale. I bought it for myself. So the fact that I can get my money back plus a little bit makes me happy. I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, so it is the end of the week. So my total sales for the week were $1,241. That's about average, maybe a little bit up. My total cost of goods was $159.08. And my total profit after Posh fees and my cost of goods was $819.39. I'm still really working hard to list 5 on Poshmark and 5 on Cherish 5 days a week. And I'm really wanting to get my total profit for the week over 1,000. That's my ultimate goal. I have not been doing very well with my listings this week. So we'll see what next week brings. Usually it seems like if you don't list very well one week, then the following week your sales are not as good. But that's not always true. Sometimes, you know, you have a good big sale. Okay, I also wanted to mention something. Recently I had kind of a, I don't know, I guess maybe a little critical comment on one of my videos, and a few of you came to my defense. And I just wanted to say thank you. That's really nice of you. I've been trying to prepare myself for, you know, the probability that I will get some negative comments, and that's okay. I'm open to suggestions, and I know I'm not perfect and I'll make some mistakes. Personally, I'm going to try not to be defensive and engage with people. You know, I'll just respond them and thank them for their suggestion, just because I'm going to try not to use up any of my energy being defensive or offended or anything, just because I think that it's a waste of energy for everyone involved. But I just really wanted to say thank you to those of you who came to my defense. I really appreciate it, and it just makes me feel good. So that is all for this week. If I haven't mentioned it in this video, if you're enjoying my videos, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below. All those things really help me out. They help boost my videos in the YouTube algorithm, which means YouTube suggests my videos to more people. So that encourages me and helps my channel grow. All right, thanks again so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you next week.